All right, what is up, you guys? Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Super stoked to be doing this. Um, I'm gonna be doing this mainly. Obviously, I want to help people if they're interested in watching my stuff, but secondly, really just want to track the progress I'm gonna be making alongside on my road to competing. Sometime next year, 2018. Here we go. I'm going to track it for all you guys. If you care watching, join me on this road. Why not? So I started with foam rolling. I do 30 seconds per muscle group. I always start with foam rolling because it really helps increase my range of motion, and it really helps loosen up my fascia when it comes to pre-workout. So I always take my time to do that beforehand, especially for legs. As you can see, I started with about 2 or 3 warm-up sets for squats. I did about 5 sets of this. This is my last set here. I'm working at 315 for 3 reps. What I do is I start at 12 reps, work my way down to 10, and then to 8 reps, and then to 5 reps, and I finish with 3, which is that 5th set you guys just watched right there. Sometimes I'll mix it up and do front squats, but I did back squats today. So that's why I did those. Now, here we go. I got the sumo deadlifts going on. I really do favor this grip over the traditional deadlift or Romanian deadlifts, just because the hands inside the bar, inside the legs, rather than outside, is a lot more comfortable for me, and I can produce a lot more strength coming from the bottom. I feel like I just feel really comfortable doing this. So here I am, of course, on my 5th set as well. I didn't start this heavy. As well as I did with the squats, I did the sets of 12 reps down to 10 to 8 to 5 to 3, which is that final set. Slowly increasing my weight, trying to increase my strength along this workout here. And then so for my 3rd movement, I have a unilateral movement. I have the single leg press. And I really like to focus on any of these movements, to be honest, but really on the leg press. I see a lot of people pressing with their toes. I can see their heel elevating as they're pressing towards the top, and that is the last thing you want to do. What you want to do is focus on pressing through your heel. I literally lift my toes inside my shoes just to make sure that I'm pressing solely with my heel. That way I'm driving with I'm using my glutes as well as my quads, which is pretty much the targeted muscles that most people want to be working on this exercise here. So that's why I always tell people or cue them in while they're in the exercise, just to always focus and remember to press off their heels. It's really important. So I then moved on to the accessory movements. I really like to use these just to really shape up the quads and glutes, or not glutes, hamstrings, sorry. This is what is this? Quad extension. Can't even think. I have my toes pointed up at all times during this exercise. Now you'll see me go super slow on the way down. The eccentric is always the slower part of the movement. You want to go extra slow on there because that's where most of the bang for your buck is going to come from when it comes to building muscle. So I'll go about 3-4 seconds slow on the way down, and then I'll do a little double clutch on the top there. I'll flex slightly lower, and then I'll flex one more time going towards the top, never locking my knees, and then bringing that weight slowly back down. And I do about, I like to hit around 3 to 4 sets of, anywhere between 10 to 15 reps with these. You're really just squeezing and focusing on the contraction on these accessory movements. Moving on, I did the hamstring curl here. Seated, normally I like to do the prone or lying hamstring curl because your spine is completely neutral. You're obviously laying down, and you have that full stretch and range of motion when it comes to the hamstrings curling. But I can really squeeze the crap out of my hamstrings when I'm seated. So I started with my toes pointing out, and normally people, and I also do this, I like to point my toes up. But when I point my toes out, or forwards, I should say, I really feel my hamstrings towards the bottom, closer to my knees, which is a different part than what you feel when you have your toes up. So I like to start with those. They're actually a little harder than when you have your toes pointed up. So I'll do toes pointed forwards until failure, and then that same set, I literally just lift my toes back up, and you'll be able to notice the difference in ease. You'll be able to bang out about 5 extra reps, which is what I just did there. So of course, just like the quad extensions, I did about 4 sets as well with the seated hamstring curl. Now moving on, I like to finish with a lateral movement. Now I use a resistance band tied around my knees. This really, and when you're squatting down into almost an 90-degree angle there, it fires up the adductors as well as, the abductors as well as the glutes. This is a super good finisher. I do only like two, maximum three sets, depending on how exhausted I am. But I did finish with about two sets of this on this day. Depending on how many reps you want to do, I pretty much just like go about 10 to 12, like as wide as I can step to the right, and then I'll do the same amount to the left, making sure I'm hitting the same amount of reps for both directions. And then I like to finish with with like a nice body weight exercise on my leg days, just to really exhaust the legs and make sure I leave feeling accomplished. So I just did about two sets of this. I walked about maybe like, I want to say 20, 25 yards, and I walked back and I did it for the second time there. And that is pretty much it. I really felt crazy sore after this workout, so I do suggest if you guys want to get on any type of program, you're going to see a lot of stuff like this, just like lots of movements, compound movements mixed with the isolation exercises as well. So, if you guys want, go ahead and give this exercise a try, or this workout. It was really, really good. It pretty much hits everything that you'd like to for the most part. And I really thank everybody for watching this. I have a lot more to be coming. I'm really excited for all the YouTube videos I'll be making in the future. And you can join me on this journey. So thanks you guys once again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.